We have a ton of new scoops surrounding both the Thunderbolts and Captain America New World Order. From set photos to plot details, it's all coming in hot from the MCU leakers and rumor mills. Also, some production news on the Thunderbolts are that Lee Sung-jin, creator and showrunner of the Netflix series Beef, has taken on the writing duties for the movie. This rumor comes from the Variety magazine, but is only one of many updates to the film lately. The Thunderbolts film, according to scoops from the Hot Mic Show, Jeff Snyder's podcast on YouTube, it focused too heavily on the Black Widow characters. I'll have a link to all the rumors in the description below, along with all the different links to the leakers. The next bit of news I wanted to highlight was from the production set of Captain America New World Order. Here's a pair of photos from the set and showcases Tim Blake Nelson and Harrison Ford. Their roles in Captain America 4 are supposedly big and play a factor in the next bit of the MCU rumors. Harrison Ford plays a recast Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Tim Blake Nelson returns as Dr. Samuel Stearns, aka the Leader, and he returns with a new mutated appearances based on the pictures. Stearns suffered said mutation during Emil Blonsky's first and violent transformation as the Abomination in the first Incredible Hulk. Some joke that Captain America 4 will play off as both a Hulk film and a Captain America project, but there is much more to the film than just those two connecting characters. Jeff Snyder from the Hot Mic Show on YouTube delivered a big haul of scoops on Captain America 4, and his rumors state that 5 villains will form a Serpent society within Captain America 4. Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross will also transform as Red Hulk during the film. Val from previous MCU projects returns as a member of the society as well. Val's goal in Captain America 4 is to gather and form the Serpent Society with 5 other members. The mission of the Serpent Society in Captain America 4 is to collect a different and unique metal from the ever-present vibranium. But I just want to highlight that these are rumors from the Hot Mic Show, and just take everything unconfirmed for Marvel with a bit of grain of salt. But my speculation based on the previous rumors are that the Society members include Val, Thunderbolt Ross, Dr. Stearns, aka the Leader. That's 3 known members and could include a previously rumored antagonist for the Thunderbolts film. Steven Yeun's Sentry joins the cast as well, so I could see that he joins the Society initially as well. If Sentry betrays the Society during the events of the Thunderbolts film, I could see Wyatt Russell's John Walker take his place in the events afterwards. While the 2 other members of the Serpent Society remain a secret, or 3 members, I'm not quite sure, I believe that one of them could be an X-Men, or at least a former member of the X-Men, hiding in the shadows. Jeff Snyder's scoop of rumors also mentions an X-Men tie-in or 2. I think that tie-in could be the villain of the film. Jessica Chastain was previously rumored to join the cast of Captain America 4, so could she be a part of the Society and this group of villains? The whole thing could be confusing, but my final list of anticipated Serpent Society members of the MCU formed include the following: Julia Dreyfus as Val, Harrison Ford as Red Hulk, Tim Blake Nelson as the Leader, Jessica Chastain as Viper, aka Ophelia Sarkisian, and Madam Hydra. The 5th member is most likely going to be US Agent John Walker. However, a twist on the 5th member could include a major backstabber betrayal. The rumors are wild, but shouldn't be tossed aside since both projects are in production as we speak. I am looking forward to seeing more photos from the production of both films and both projects. Thunderbolts releases on July 26, 2024. Captain America New World Order hits theaters on May 3rd, 2024. The timeline is a little bit confusing, but I think my lineup of villains holds up for now. I'm just excited to see Marvel Studios take time to fix their projects in production and pre-production as well. Victoria Alonso was one of many firings, but the expectations remain high and hopeful, with Kevin Feige around. Disney CEO Bob Iger, while cautious, still believes in Kevin Feige's vision for Marvel Studios. The cast looks strong, and I believe writing changes only fixes tonal issues and plot concerns. But give me your thoughts on the latest rumors and news surrounding both Captain America New World Order and the Thunderbolts. Share all your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed today's topic. If you could hit that sub button, that would be awesome. Hit that like button and boost my video up on the algorithm. Click that bell so you don't miss any of my videos that get uploaded. And if you have some time to spare, check out some of these videos on your screen right now.